Hello, good morning. This is the Calle de Alcalá, which is also a major thoroughfare here in Madrid. It's going to take you all the way into the Puerta del Sol, which is the center of Madrid. But today I'm going to take you guys down this way toward the Plaza de Cibeles and then up to the Puerta de Alcalá. To start off with, I want to show you this building. It's called the Círculo de Bellas Artes. It's the Bellas Arts building, or the Bellas Artes building. It goes all the way up here. And a tip is that you can go up to the top. They do have it's like they have like a little bar there and a seating area, and you can actually go up to the top. I think it's around €4 to get in. And then if you want, you can get a drink, or if you don't want, you don't have to, but you can get some good sights of the city from up there. So there's a tip for you. I'm going to go see if I can cross the street here. Okay, I'm on the other side safely. I did have to sprint, but that's fine. This is the Bellas Artes building that I told you about before, and it has a really nice restaurant. It's a bit pricey, but it's nice. And you can sit outside if it's warm enough, or inside. But it is really pretty. Once again, I'm going to tell you to just keep looking up at the buildings. Look to the sides, because there's some beautiful architecture you will find all over Madrid. So it really is worth looking up and seeing all the different facades to the building. This one, for example, is pretty. I'm not sure. It looks like an official building because it has the flags. I'm not sure what building it is. These sidewalks have also been expanded. It wasn't like this at all a few years ago, so it's super comfortable to just like stroll around Madrid. I'm just so thrilled about it. I have to tell everybody. Okay, so this building is called the Banco de España, so it's the Central Bank of Spain. Also a beautiful building. And the metro station here is called Banco de España. If you want to get to this area, the station is called Banco de España. Right here across the street to our left is called the Instituto Cervantes. Now, this one's here in Madrid, of course, but there's Instituto Cervantes all over the world, and what they do is they promote Spain in the Spanish language. Of course, Cervantes was a writer. He wrote The Man of the Mancha, and Don Quixote, El Hombre de la Mancha, which he's kind of considered like a Spanish Shakespeare, let's say. So I do these videos kind of like, because I love Spain, and just kind of like show people the possibilities of what they could see here when they come, and then you can kind of decide, well, I like this, or I like that, and I want to see this, or I want to see that. So that's kind of the reason behind my video making, let's say. And always you can ask me questions if you have any questions about Madrid or about Spain. Drop a message in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer. If you're coming and you want to know, well, how's this, how's that, what should I do, where should I go, just go ahead and ask me in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer. Now, the most important industry in Spain is tourism. So tourists are very, very welcomed, and they're always trying to make things easy and good so that more tourists want to come. And I think they're just doing a great job, because every year things are just looking nicer and more comfortable, and easy ways to stroll around, and lots of things to do. And let me tell you, there are so many people come to visit. It's fabulous. Look, here's a little press stand, but they have a lot of souvenirs. Actually, it used to be a press stand, and I think now it's just a souvenir stand. Well, they do have a little bit, magazines and newspapers, but this would be the typical newspaper stand that are all over Madrid. People read less newspaper nowadays. So like I said, we are in Banco de España. So this is one of the more beautiful squares, although it is completely, with cars, so you don't really walk around in it, but you can see the Palacio de Cibeles, which is this fabulous building right there. I'm going to try to cross here and get a better vantage for you. Okay, so this is an eternal fire that they've put for the victims of COVID. So this has been put here recently, and this is what we call the Plaza de Cibeles. So that building there is the Palacio de Cibeles. Originally it was where the post office was. It was the huge central post office. But now it's actually used as the mayor's offices. And the statue that you see here, or the fountain, is called the Cibeles. And just an interesting fact, this is where when the Real Madrid soccer team wins, or football team, all the people come here to celebrate, and the actual players usually come here and they kiss the statue, and it's a whole thing. So this is kind of like their little spot, and it's really beautiful. Now we're going to go across the street that way and go up the Calle de Alcalá. So come on, let's go. Vámonos. Okay, so now this street is called the Paseo del Prado, which is a boulevard. So you can actually cross, and then you can walk right down the center of the boulevard, which is all the trees, and it's really beautiful. You don't have to worry about cars, and that's going to take you all the way to the Atocha train station. But before you get there, on the left, you're going to see the Prado Museum. So you can walk down here to the Prado Museum if you get off the metro station Banco de España, and you can walk straight down to the Prado Museum, which you don't want to miss. The Prado Museum, most important museum in Spain. Okay, so I've crossed the street. We're almost to the Palacio de Cibeles, but I did want to tell you something while we're here. On this side, on Paseo del Prado, right here to the right, there is a bus stop, which is for the direct bus that will take you to the airport. So if you're interested in taking the airport bus, which is actually a super good deal, it's only €5 to get to the airport from the center of Madrid. So I highly recommend it, but this is where the stop is. There's another stop also in the Atocha train station. So that's another way you can get it. But definitely, I always take that because it's really good price, because if you take a Uber or you take a taxi, it's going to cost you a lot more. And this one takes you straight in, no problem. Even got a good place to put your bags and everything, so it's a good setup. So this is the square that's in front of the Palacio de Cibeles. This is another thing. The square was not this big before, so you couldn't really get such a good vantage point, but now they've made it huge, and you can get a good view of the Palacio de Cibeles. And also another tip, in the Palacio de Cibeles, there is right up there, right above the flag there, I don't know if you can see the people, but there's like a lookout there where you can go up there and look out over, the site of Madrid. So you can get some really good pictures and you can see Madrid a little bit better. I think it wasn't very expensive. I don't think it's free, but I think it wasn't that expensive. So it's a good option for checking out. It's always nice to get a good high vantage point. So now we're going to go ahead and finish going up the to the Puerta de Alcalá. This is Alcalá Street. Now, La Calle de Alcalá, I'm not going to go through the whole street because it's very, very long. But the important parts, the parts that say are more interesting to see as a tourist, kind of ends right up here at the Puerta de Alcalá. Okay, so I always like to tell people, I don't know if you see there in the distance, there's a green cross. That means there's a pharmacy there. And I always like to tell people that you can only buy any kind of medicine or prescription or over the counter. You can only buy it in pharmacies. You can't go to a supermarket, for example, and pick up some cough medicine and some aspirins. They won't have any. So you're always going to have to go to pharmacy. If the pharmacy isn't open, they will have a sign on the door telling you where the nearest open pharmacy is. There are some 24-hour pharmacies. There are more and more nowadays. But yeah, you cannot get medicine anywhere else. Okay, so this is the pharmacy I was saying, and this is where they'll tell you where other pharmacies are if this one isn't open, so that you'll be able to get what you need. So there you go. Okay, so we're coming up here to the Puerta de Alcalá. Now, you've probably heard a lot in Spain, in Madrid, there's like the Puerta de Alcalá, la Puerta del Sol, la Puerta de Toledo, which means the door of Alcalá, the door of Sol, the door of Toledo. The reason is that Madrid was a walled city. And so these were actually the doors which you could come and go from. So that's why they're called puertas. But of course now they're in the middle of the city because the city's grown so much around it. But they used to be the walls and the doors that you could get out, in and out through. Okay, so this is the Puerta de Alcalá, but unfortunately what you're seeing is not actually the monument, because this is actually like a tarp, and they've painted it to look like the monument because it's under construction. Well, not under construction, they're fixing it up, renovating it. So if you came now, you're just going to see this tarp, but hopefully soon they'll renovate it and you'll be able to see it again. So now I'm just going to go show you the entrance to the Retiro Park, and that will be our tour for today. Look how pretty this is. It's such a beautiful day. I just love these buildings. They're so pretty. This is kind of the high-end part of Madrid, so fancy people live here. Hang on, sausage dog alert. So cute. Okay, so just to finish off this short vlog, oh, look at the doggy, oh, so cute. Okay, so to finish off this short vlog, I just wanted to show you my favorite entrance into the Retiro Park. The Retiro Park is like the main city park. It's big, it's really beautiful. I already did a video on that, so I'll link it below in case you're interested. Definitely have to see the Retiro Park if you're here in Madrid as well. And this would be the Puerta de Alcalá entrance, which, as I said, I think it's the prettiest entrance. I always like to walk in here. There's lots of other ways to get in though, but this one is like so much more majestic. And look how many people, because when it's a nice day here, let me tell you, everybody, not just tourists, a lot of these people are from Madrid because they love to visit their parks. They love to enjoy their city. So it's fabulous. So anyway, I'll be leaving this mini vlog here, this little tour of the Alcalá Street, the Calle de Alcalá. I hope you liked it, enjoyed it. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave a comment. Leave a question in the comments. I'll be super happy to answer, help you out with any questions you have about Madrid or in Spain in general. And like and subscribe if you like the content. Hasta luego.